Alright, so this game we have Ikbinan Kanto from Team A, Dryad from Team B, Cat from Team C, and Endgamer from Team D again. Still Blues here with Trat.
Hello. And I think Cat is losing the loading screen race. Okay.
We are on Mars this time. We have an electronics colony. Nukes and claims on the market.
Nukes is what worries me right here.
There is at least plenty of water to go around.
Yeah, it's a pretty generous map, I think.
Right. The only resource that's maybe a bit on the lower side is carbon. That shouldn't come into play until later with electronics. Early on, you're looking at glass and water.
I think I could see a few Nomad founds. Especially since we have Cat in the game.
Yeah, definitely is a very good found for taking advantage of the glass price.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And do you have like a combo water and silicon in the south? I think that's a really good... Yeah, Endgamer takes that. 3 Nomads, 1 expensive.
Yeah, all the founds look quite reasonable. I'm a bit concerned about going for this low iron off the bat. It does claim the carbon tile, but I'm not sure that's something you want to be doing so early.
Yeah, especially with these prices. Maybe if iron started low, but it didn't.
Right, there are enough low carbon tiles on the map that losing out on this medium isn't a big deal, and also carbon scrubbing is still an option on Mars, even though that's not what you want to rely on.
Yeah. So Endgamer and Cat are both in a high water pump, and since water started at 40, that should work out fine for them.
I'm kind of confused about Kanto's choice of water in particular. This does transition to wind nicely later, but he did have medium-high water available next to his other HQ in 2 separate locations.
Yeah. He is first to HQ2. I think Endgamer is suffering a bit by not claiming aluminum, but he will claim 2 now to make up for that.
Yep, can do that very easily with that found. Also has nice access to carbon. I will be interested to see what people are planning for to make money on HQ2. Endgamer moving into mass aluminum will help for a little bit, but I don't think it's enough to carry him through. Probably need to see a transition into farms or something. Or glass.
I like glass, personally. Cat is a bit late to HQ2, but she bought the cheapest goon, so...
Right.
She's gonna fly a bit under the radar, I think.
She is moving into glass. Excellent.
Yep.
I'd also not moving into glass, moving into more iron, into that carbon, finally into water. Water seems like a bit of an odd choice to me since every Nomad moved into that early.
Yeah, the price right now doesn't really inspire me to build pumps.
Right, I think that would be better off as just a 3rd steel mill.
Yeah.
Endgamer, meanwhile, is unsurprisingly stuck. He has 3 resources making no money. That glass transition should be easy enough, although he is late enough to that market.
I think he bought claims instead of electronics.
Yeah.
Just the issue here.
That might really come back to bite him.
Yeah.
Food might be an option for him to get out of things, but that's difficult to get down. Maybe power. Either way,
I think Cat should look at power. She has not a lot of that.
Right. Looks like she went for food first. That's okay still. Keeps her debt down. Maybe lets her get to HQ3 and then get power down, but...
What I like about power is there are only 2 vents on this entire map, and I really like Geos as a Nomad.
It's fair. I tend to favor solar panels and superconductor, but that's what I always favor, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so one thing about this game is that Chem started at 40, so we could see a pretty early patent lab.
This is extremely aggressive.
Yep. Sold. So it's a bit much because the claim isn't worth a lot here.
Right.
Like,
prices
are pretty low.
Right. And I think they're gonna stay under control for a fair amount of time.
Yeah.
Using it to grab a carbon tile. It's not gonna pay off for a while. I guess moving into electronics now also seems early. could be more power instead. He does have the one geo secured, but I'd be very concerned about, I guess Endgamer and Cat both have triple solar panel down, so maybe avoiding it is fine.
They're not going to be happy with about this dust storm.
Right.
Farms and solar panels are abundant, and they will be halved.
Yep, and nighttime about to hit, so we might actually see power stay strong for quite a while.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, while all this is going on, Dryad is still kind of just lagging behind a bit. Not really able to get into many markets. Auto-selling this iron is definitely a mistake. Without that, he probably could have built up a very large stockpile of that, transitioned into more steel on those tiles, or food, or anything, and be in a better spot. This unfortunately just isn't doing much for him.
Agreed. Konto is the first into a patent lab.
At the colony.
He chooses slant drilling.
This may be a bit concerned about nukes in particular, and this also, I guess, helps with his water if he chooses just to go 2 pumps there. Also protects his silicon.
Yeah. We see the first nuke of the game. Dryad nukes Cat's water, high water. That's pretty good.
It's a solid hit. I'm not sure if I would be doing that as Dryad in particular. I think he probably wants to hold on to his money or use it for something like a mutiny where he can get a benefit out of it, because there's nothing great to mutiny yet.
And of course there's no impact right now because water is cheap, but I think it will scare Cat a bit.
Yeah. Cat definitely has the option of moving into some remote waters, still plenty of water patches. The nuke tile is adjacent to one of our HQs, so it's not a huge deal long.
Yeah. And after this dust storm, farms will be very good. Right now I think the good market to be in is electronics.
Yeah, Cat in both those markets. Moving into the 3rd farm not too long ago. Considered moving into a 4th farm, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore. Not sure what she changed her mind to stay.
And these people bid a lot. We have an optimization center for 40k. Actually, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. I think you can push electronics optimizations pretty well, and maybe get a lead off of that. On the other hand, we do have multiple people committing into early electronics, so maybe that doesn't go as high as it might otherwise. On the other hand, not many advanced buildings down yet, so still room.
Endgamer goes into 4 farms. I guess I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's a solid
This will
market.
create a water situation though. I would buy some more water if I was him.
Definitely room for that. It isn't the worst thing in the world either. He can pretty easily return one of his silicon claims, move into more water, but not something he necessarily seems prepared for. Water's $2, please buy some.
Yeah, silicon was 2.
Looks like Kanto was the one that bought some up. I guess Endgamer did buy some. He's at 100 water now, so that's nicely done.
Yeah. Kanto did secure slant drilling, now he's going for carbon scrubbing. He's planning for the long game.
Yep.
Cat realizes that she needs money to buy all these really cheap resources, so she gets a pleasure dome. It will be pretty good.
Definitely a solid building with nothing else on world being standout.
Yeah, so the things that they are producing that makes money keeps getting frozen. Kanto's electronics factory got frozen and he responds by freezing Cat. And I think maybe they have identified each other. They do seem to be targeting each other a lot.
They are also just both solidly ahead of the rest of the pack. It makes sense regardless. Yeah. Dryad is the only person in reactors. This multiple short is going to play very nicely into his hands.
Yes.
And maybe get him a way back into things.
Reactors are amazing right now. Endgamer is responding with 3. And we saw a mutiny on Konto's remote patent lab. Luckily he managed to get it back.
I think Dryad has a real good opportunity here. Go into some extra water, go into some extra reactor, maybe go into an extra wind, and just really start pulling back into things.
Yeah, I like overcommitting into reactors here, I think.
Yeah, I think people are going to want to start going to chems soon too, so that's also going to be helpful.
So we have launches. Cat is getting thinking machines. So if you look at the launch menu, they're pretty average right now.
33.
Food seems to be the best launch at 33k.
Yeah, that should be fairly sustainable. Okay, for a moment there, Kanto had his 2 reactors separated from his base. Now he's building a 3rd one, connecting it up. I wonder if that was intentional, just to avoid having to pay that fuel cost, or to translate the debt into money, but...
It might have been, like, I often accidentally delete my claims. Might have been something like that.
Oh yeah, very easy to do as Nomad. Alright. Picking machine's still humming along quite nicely. She should have it secured unless someone does something this 3-second window.
Yeah. Okay, she has it. So, she has a solid late game plan now. She just needs a lot of silicon, some glass, some electronics, build off-worlds. And that's a solid income.
Yep. Her dead's under control. She has this nice pleasure dome down. Looking very good for Cat.
Yes.
Riot has done some nice things, committed to the extra water, got that extra reactor down, got the extra wind down. He should be slowly moving back into things as long as Cat and Kanto keep attacking each other. He may be able to chance off of these cheaper, expansive off-worlds.
Yeah, for sure. We see Power Rising and Kanto targeting Superconductor, but his patent lab keeps getting mutinied. We see who ends up getting it. It looks like Cat is getting it.
Yep, Cat does have Superconductor secured.
So Kanto is mutinying Cat's HQ adjacent patent lab, and Cat mutinies Kanto's colony adjacent patent lab. And so Cat gets an edge there.
Right, not just the speed advantage, but also thinking machines.
Oh yeah, you're right. So a bit of a mistake from Kanto, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Kanto has a lot of money though. He's trying a majority buy on Dryad right now. Dryad should be able to defend himself.
Right, definitely not going to work out.
That makes Dryad sell all his resources though. People can buy some really cheap aluminum, silicon, water, iron. If you want to.
Mm-hmm. I might have actually skipped Silicon as Dryad. When you're in a game with 3 Nomads, your expectation is that they all keep the price low by competing with each other. Unless, I guess, they're all pushing into off-worlds. Still...
Yeah, I would probably skip it too. And what I would have done is stop selling iron and build a hack array and hack iron. Nobody else wants to be in iron.
That would have been something to do 4 souls ago.
Yeah.
That's
Although,
fine.
surprisingly, nobody actually has an iron stockpile. Though it's been this low the entire game.
Yeah, definitely is a bit of an oversight from the other players. That's something that Cat normally is on top of, but maybe a bit too locked into this battle with Kanto.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And they started buying stock into each other. It's a bit premature. Kanto is struggling a lot with debt here.
Right, I'm definitely concerned about this move as Kanto just because he is going to fall out of this very quickly if he doesn't fix his debt problem. On the other hand, it makes some sense. He does not really have any long game advantages over Cat. Maybe he thinks he needs to push as soon as possible, but he just doesn't have a big enough edge.
Yeah, agreed. And yeah, he's 200k more debt than Cat, which is, I think, gonna be the biggest problem.
The black market is online.
So Cat got like both the late game patents in quotation mark, thinking machines and virtual reality.
Right.
I really favor Cat here.
One thing that is going on at the same time as all this is that Endgamer has been optimizing more heavily than any other player. So that might work out nicely for him. On the other hand, I'm not sure what these 4 aluminum tiles are about. I guess he doesn't have much money, but still.
He just doesn't want to do anything in moderation.
Maybe he thinks this is IO.
Yeah, right now you really want to be in chems, and Cat's chem refineries are making like $250 a second.
Yep. Not doing this D+4 debt. I think we're past the point of no return here.
Yeah, agreed. He will have to try to finish Cat as soon as possible. Rely on stock to keep his own stock price up.
I guess one good thing about this fight that Kanto started for all the other players is that it probably delayed Cat from getting into Offworlds, and that should give them a bigger chance to get back into things.
Yeah.
Tried moving into double optimization center should work out very nicely for him. Started to move into chems, cancelled. Not sure what's going to happen there instead, but double optimization should work out nicely. Now moving back into things.
I like double optimizations, but I don't like that they're adjacent to each other.
Right.
This is a very nice power surge for if anyone's clears Dryad.
No great reason to put them adjacent, no boosts or anything, so...
Yeah. And yeah, we have a lot of optimization centers in general.
Yep.
What I like to do here is power surge, like when it's crowded at the machine shops. I really like power surging. We'll see if anyone takes advantage of that.
Yeah.
Konto is in a hacker array, or he's building one at least. I'm not sure what he's planning. I'm hoping for some miraculous hack here.
That's basically what he's going to need, otherwise he's just well behind Cat, and as long as he keeps going deeper into debt, it will make things really hard for the other players. If he sells out of Cat's stock at some point, pays back a lot of debt, maybe things get better, but so far that doesn't seem like it's happening. And Cat has also been making a solid amount of power money off of the superconductor play, with Nanotech scrapping the panels at night. Very nice move, as long as she remembers to get back into them at the right time.
Our methods continue to improve.
Right now glass is a pretty good in the market, nobody's in, so... Oh, Cat recognizes that, she goes into it.
The optimization center.
Well, Kanto managed to pay his way all the way back up to just D-Dead for that interest tick, but still eating a nice 54k.
And he has decided to short carbon. Which unfortunately Cat has both extra income and a stockpile of.
Yep. Maybe something more like glass would have been nice.
Price manipulations to begin shortly.
People have absolutely killed chemicals.
The engineers have advanced our production.
Yeah, so I'm surprised I haven't seen... Oh, no,
Now
she
we
did
see
it.
the first two off-worlds, one from Dryad, one from Cat.
Yeah, I think this was a bit too late.
Yeah,
She had thinking machines for a long time.
I think maybe what Cat's thinking was that she thought she could get a quick buy onto Kanto, but Kanto has been paying off debt effectively, dragging this longer, so now Cat realizes she needs to push into the off-world, and that's gonna cost her a bit.
At this point, she could finish the buy, she could build the two off-worlds, so I think she's fine either way. I like the off-worlds though.
Yeah, I think it's the right play at this point.
And the 51k launches from food at the moment. Also really solid chem launches.
Yeah.
Which means you can utilize her optimizations in chems.
Gonna be a very strong building, and she's gonna need it for the late game, since Dryad will be pushing those as well.
Yeah, Dryad has recovered really well from the early position. It's not using its optimization centers right now.
Right. The other thing that's going on right now, everyone who's producing food is auto-selling it. Food is $30, and it is the off-world launch.
Yeah,
Do
you
not
should
do
buy
this.
up like 400 food.
Yes.
The black market is open for business.
I'm a bit surprised that Cat has not been doing more of that this game, but it's fine.
Our methods continue to improve.
It is...
Oh, Endgamer actually went for a high iron tile and 2 steel mills.
Well, this is all...
I never liked this.
Yeah.
Oh, he even optimized it.
I mean, you can sort of afford to do that as Nomad, but just don't.
Yeah, it's not efficient.
He's moving into 5 steel mills now.
Of course he is. Okay. Well, that's good for Dryad. He will be able to get a second off-world easier.
It is good for Dryad, but Dryad at this point is also just in a lot of trouble. Kanto picking up that one stock in Dryad, Dryad not being able to get into the second off-world before Cat. Cat just really has all the advantages locked down at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. And Konto can't seem to find a nice resource to hack. It's been sitting idle.
Mm-hmm. Dryad's optimization center is also just sitting idle.
And yeah, Cat has 2 off-worlds now.
Yep. And that's...
This is the end, basically.
Yeah, with thinking machines, it's not really going to be something that anyone can do something about. Kanto continuing to ensure that Cat wins this game easily, and Power Surge's mutinies at 50k also just doesn't help. Interesting points. Endgamer managed to push the iron price all the way up to $70-ish. That's nice.
But nobody has a stockpile.
Yeah. Dryad just continuing to auto sell it. Making some money off of that, but it could have been a lot nicer.
The engineers have advanced our production.
Cat is really on point with this nanotech solar panel superconductor utilization. I like that.
Yeah, I haven't been watching that, but just a very nice use of those patents together.
Yeah.
Our methods continue to improve.
Hunter needs to sell out of Cat. Although he's not interested in doing anything besides helping Cat win, I guess.
He did pay down debt, but
Yeah, he's
not enough.
Yeah, he's close enough to 0 debt.
Okay, we see some aggression from Dryad.
Yes, that's okay. It's not something I would do, just because thinking machines, but I guess it's fine. Need to do something.
Yeah. Dryad could have a chance here if Konto sells out of Cat and Dryad goes into her.
Yeah,
But I don't think that's gonna happen.
it's just too late. Dryad selling out of Cat. Kanto buying into Dryad. Basically the exact opposite of what needs to happen.
Yeah.
Well, Endgamer is jumping in there. Endgamer
So, yeah.
did eventually manage to get the 2 off-worlds up. I'm not exactly sure what okay, I guess it was like the steel sidetrack and everything, because at one point he had the nice optimizations going. He had some path back into this game, then he just kind of wandered off and got lost.
Yeah. He needed off-worlds. And so what Konto did, he makes himself a more preferable target. Because every stock he buys, the person who buys him gets, which is Cat. So by buying into Dryad there, he just makes himself an even better target. And he was
Right.
already the target.
It's a play that can sometimes make sense if you have another opponent that is a credible threat, but no one was a credible threat.
Yeah, you could delay your end by well up to a minute at most, but something needs to happen in that minute.
Yep, all just a bit unfortunate. It would have been interesting to see how things played out otherwise.
Launch affirmative. What a payout methods continue to improve.
We see some goon poppers with the network viruses, or goon checkers rather, because there are no. Oh wait, there are spies. What's going on?
I think they're just network viruses that Cat had sitting around from people bouncing them.
Yeah, probably.
The black market is open for business.
Usually though, if there are no spies, you could just throw a pretty cheap network virus to check for goons before you mute.
Stock is being sold.
Your mutant is too valuable to gamble. And Cat buys out Dryad.
I would say which seals the game, but it's been sealed.
Yeah, it's been sealed for a while.
Successful off-world
Alright,
shipment.
so we see
Make room for
Cat's
the
powers a
progress.
nomad. She really knows how to utilize those nanotech patents. The nanotech superconductor patent combo.
Mhm.
The engineers
Something
have
that's
advanced
hard
our
to really keep track of, but
Look at all the
you can. It's another nice little edge there.
Yep.
So that's what,
According to the charts and graphs, she has built 25 solar panels this game. So she's very committed. strategy.
54 seconds of night. So if you're looking, I guess that's 14 seconds of production if you're doing perfect at the start of night and right to start have them back start of day. You don't need to do that though.
Yeah. You don't need to go into the solar panels again if the power price is still low.
Off-world shipment. Make room for the profits. Our
Like
methods
during a dust storm,
continue
you probably won't do it.
Off-world shipment launched. Look at all the money.
Let's see. Kanto prioritized slant drilling and carbon scrubbing. I'm not sure they ever really paid off for him.
I think slant made enough sense. Carbon scrubbing didn't really come into play all that much. Although carbon did spike a little bit for a while when everyone was doing chems.
Definitely think that Cat's choices at least
Yeah.
were more impactful.
VR, thinking machines, nanotech, superconductor.
Well played to Cat.
Yes.
Consider entertainment revenue. Wow. Oh wait, I looked at the wrong thing. 290k.
Yeah, it's
That's
still very
solid,
solid. Yeah.
That's very solid. For like a 60 chem investment. And yeah, using Kanto's own patent lab with all the mutinies. Yeah, she did a lot of nice transitions too. She was often the first into the best market. I remember chems clearly, but there were other
Right.
cases too.
Being prepared
just-
for food at the end of the dust storm was another one.
Yeah. Yeah, really need to like hit her with power surges.
Yeah. There was a little bit of that, but most of the early power surges landing on Kanto,
Yeah.
which combined with taking a bunch of auctions really just puts you into a huge hole. The 28k financial instruments auction is especially questionable.
Yeah. So he paid 128k in total.
Yeah. I'm not sure there's ever a game where you can really effectively absorb all that and still come out really well.
Yeah, it's a bit much. Like, take 2 of those 4, maybe.
Everyone likes claims though.
Yeah. They were good in the mid game. Early game though, when he bought that 32k one. I think that was the most questionable one.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly which other tiles got auctioned.
I think both Cat and Kanto used all of their returner claims,
And Gamer,
which is, I guess, the mark of a good nomad.
I guess, yeah. I mean, depending on the game. Sometimes you wait for opportunities that don't end up showing up.
Didn't feel that nukes were very impactful.
Nope.
Nomad is a really good choice versus nukes.
Yeah, especially on a map with such abundant resources.
Yeah. And okay, so we have the final score for the first weekend.